going on there, YouTube? I'm working on these wheels again. If you've been following along, I'm trying to mount them on a 1/8 scale model white wall tire. And these are old bi-ply Firestone, and I had an idea, which I've done on this one. I cut the inner beadlock ring, the lip of it off, and put it in here to help clamp the tire to the outside edge of the wheel, since it is not as wide as the wheel itself. But the beadlock ring, the outer edge, is not as thick as the inner edge, so it didn't sit on the wheel. There's a gap, so it is in there sliding around a little bit. You can push it around. It's in there nice and snug now. I've got that one tight. So I've been looking for other solutions. I could cut the center part of the beadlock ring out, but this aluminum, it gets messy trying to cut it. So I've been looking for an alternative. I was hoping I had some PVC pipe that would work, because that would be easy to cut, easy to clean up the edges, but I didn't. The only thing I found is a steel IKEA table leg that fits nice around it. It is a little bit difficult to cut. I tried it on the bandsaw and it just wouldn't come out straight. So I'm using my Sawzall. I'm clamping the table leg in the bench vise and just trying to cut it with the Sawzall as evenly as I can. I've got one done. It's not perfectly even around. I need to clean it up a little bit, but it will work. It's got just enough. I think the beadlock will clamp to it nice, and the the jagged cut edge will help hold the tire in place, and it does fit a lot tighter around the wheel. There's still a little bit of movement, but it should be able to squeeze it nice and tight and hold better than this one did. This one's still trying to wiggle around in there. My tire's going to be off balance and rotate odd because of the way that slid to one side once I put the beadlock on. You see how these wheels go together? I haven't been able to show that yet. I turned this part around. That's our 12mm hex. The inside was round. I fit a couple spacers and some ball bearings in there, and it's nice and snug now, and it spins freely. So that's allowed it to work on my semi-truck front axle. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut another ring, and then we'll see if we'll see how that comes out, and we'll get these things back together. Alright guys, so you see I had a couple bolts strip out. I've had at least one of these wheels apart more than its fair share of times, and I bought them second hand, so they've probably been together and apart more than once. So they look pretty good. They're not quite the same thickness. Cutting with that Sawzall is just such a pain. This one can be made to spin. I mean, I'm putting a lot of force, as it's not a driving or a brake wheel. It's just, I'm going to roll with it. If I need to, I can cut another piece of that tubing just a hair thicker. The first one is nice and snug. I can't make it go. I'll have to find some more of these. I don't have, I think these are 2.5mm flatheads. I didn't have any flathead ones, so I will have to try to find some of those to replace. Yeah, I think this is going to work. They're nice and square. The insert doesn't slide around. It fits nice and snug over the wheel. And we got a nice solid scale rubber tire. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and put all the bolts in before I lose them, because I've just got them laid out everywhere over here. And we'll get it on the axle and see what it looks like. Alright guys, got it all together. These little adapters for the scale bolts are kind of a pain in the butt. I got cramps in my fingers now. I could put a little glue in there to hold it to the driver, but I need to use the driver on something else. So they're on. They're pretty snug, so you can kind of see it. It's not too noticeable in there. Might be something to come back and weather later, depending on what direction and what build these end up on. But yeah, just a little quick how-to. Trying to repurpose some stuff, since there's not a lot of scale wheels out there, or scale tires for this genre. Trying to find other supplies. Like we talked about before, those rear tires are from models as well, but they do They are hollow, so they will clamp to the beadlock the standard way. Yeah, I really like these wheels. I would really like to see this mocked up with skinny tires all the way around, but I don't know yet. I need to invest in some semi-truck tires and some different wheels and see what we can do. Cyanide tubes using some 1.7s, beadlocks, and making his own insert rings to fit the semi-truck tires. And that's what I intended to do on the original build, but I didn't get the 1.7s. I tried to do 1.9s, and I just gave up before I got too far with that. So something to try later. I've got enough builds to we can probably make it work on one of them. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned for more to come.